Here are your spoilers for The Young and the Restless for the week of September 29th to Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Be sure to tune in to CBS every weekday to see how everything plays out in Genoa City. Victor sets a trap for Kane. Nick and Sharon plan to visit Noah. Claire makes a bold move affecting her future. Nikki puts Diane in her place. Sally keeps a secret from Billy. Tessa defends her actions. Victor plays his cards close to the vest with Jack. Michael has difficulty resisting old habits. Lauren puts Nikki in a tough position. Jill returns home to settle unfinished business with Billy and Kane. Lily and Amy find common ground. Audra asks Nate for a second chance. Victor and Jack agree on a plan of attack. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. At the ranch, Nikki rises to meet Victor and says, "It's late." He explains that he gave Kane an ultimatum. Either he does what he wants him to do, or he destroys him. Nikki worries about the stress this is causing her husband. Victor thinks this fight will go the distance. He admits that Kane is more unpredictable than he thought. On the Kane train, he's agitated with Michael not being more careful. His attorney wants more details on Victor's ultimatum. Kane has it handled. He questions if Michael will be having his back or looking out for Victor. Michael tries to reassure him, but wants to know the details of his role and Kane's ultimate goal. Talk turns to Billy. Michael's certain he can figure out how to control him. He continues fishing for more details of Ashby's plan. Kane keeps changing the subject, asking if the attorney sees him as a hero or a villain. That goes nowhere, so Kane asks him about Phyllis. Michael says she's one of a kind. He'll be disappointed if Ashby takes advantage of her. Kane won't use anyone. Michael points out that people believe he's come home to wage destruction. Kane pointedly asks, "What's the real reason for you accepting this job?" Michael warns if he goes after the people he cares about, he'll do whatever he can to dissuade him or stop him. Kane looks smirky. In the jazz lounge, Billy makes a toast to Sally and rambles about convincing her he's putting her first. Sally warns, "If you turn away from me like that again." Billy insists he no longer has to try to take down Kane and Victor because he's already won. He'll convince Jack to fund Abbott Communications again, and she'll run it. He'll be her number 2. Sally admits she still feels off balance, so he helpfully explains he only has room for one obsession. That's her. Sally, wisely, remains unconvinced. Billy insists he's walked away from that table and pesters her about moving in. She wants to take things slow. When they head up to Sally's suite to make love, Billy continues with his campaign to get her to move in with him. At the Abbott mansion, Jack and Diane discuss Kyle going off to hold an emergency meeting at Jabot. Diane's more interested in Jack's proposal to work with his enemy, which gravely concerns her. Jack realizes it gives Victor the chance to stick a knife in his back, but also to keep a closer eye on him. Jack's sure Victor's just as worried about Kane as he is, but Diane questions why he'd agree to this. Jack will appeal to his colossal ego. After a story about the scorpion and the frog, Jack decides he's going to head over the ranch right now. At the ranch, Nikki thinks Kane may be all talk. If he has the AI program, why hasn't he used it yet? She's sure this is all a performance for Lily's benefit. Victor suspects that this has to do with his relationship with Jill and his father as well. Victor decides that Kane is underestimating something one does at their own peril. As he muses about whether Jill could be the one to put Kane in his place, he gets a call about an unexpected guest. Victor lets Jack into the house and asks, "What's this all about?" Jack declares it's time to lay down their swords. Victor's not inclined to hear him out, but Jack persists. He knows any truce will be short-lived, but they have a common enemy. They should join forces long enough to deal with Kane, who could wipe them all out. The verbal sparring begins, and Victor suggests that he doesn't have to worry about Kane coming after him. Jack warns it's a mistake to trust Kane Ashby. Victor leans forward. "It's a mistake to trust you, Jack Abbott." Jack tells him he knows how to beat Kane at his own game. On the Kane train, Michael guesses Kane is doing all of this to impress Lily. Kane, irked, won't discuss his motives with him or listen to the attorney's advice. He needs allies, not a life coach. "I don't think this is going to work out," Ashby declares. He knows what he's doing, what he wants, and he's going to accomplish everything he sets out to do. Michael's not the man he thought he was. He needs to walk away and not look back. "It's time to cut my losses," says Kane. He lets Michael know he respects him as a lawyer and as a man. Michael warns he'll do his damnedest to stop him from the outside. Kane would expect nothing less. In Sally's suite, after sex, Billy tells her he's so glad they're back on the same page. She says nothing. At the ranch, Nikki cast a vote for working together. Victor questions if Kane even has the software. Jack argues they have no choice but to treat this as a legit threat. He realizes Victor has no love in his heart for him. Let's leave our hearts out of this. If they work together, Kane doesn't stand a chance. Victor begrudgingly asks if he has a plan. Jack believes Kane's motives are all tied to Jill. They have to bring her in on this. They'll sabotage Kane's empire from the inside. On The Young and the Restless, we have a number of feisty females who are driven, fearless, and motivated to live their best lives. They don't let anything or anyone stop them from pursuing their goals and dreams. Here are just 3 Genoa City women who have struggled with a variety of obstacles. But every time life knocks them down, they get right back on their feet and find a way to keep on going. Sally Spectra went toe-to-toe with the likes of billionaire Dollar Bill Spencer when she was on The Bold and the Beautiful, and that alone is saying something. In her earlier years on The Young and the Restless, she was in cahoots with Tara Locke to get Summer Newman to move to Milan in order to break up Summer and Kyle. Since then, Sally has moved on from her bad girl ways and grown as a person, but her personality is still as fiery as her red hair. She is never afraid to speak her mind and call other characters out on their questionable behavior, not even her closest friend, Audra. Sally always stands up for herself, both in business dealings and in her personal life. The minute she got Adam to admit that he cheated on her with Chelsea, Sally left him in the dust. She will not put up with dishonesty or secrets in a relationship. She knows she deserves better. Sally knows her worth and values her self-esteem. Her current relationship with Billy has been emotionally exhausting for her, but she laid it on the line with him this week on The Young and the Restless. She gave him a choice: Chancellor Industries or her. Sally doesn't mince words or waste time. She gets right down to it, and we love her for it. Audra Charles is headstrong, assertive, and possesses a certain mystique because we still don't know much about her background, even though she's been a GC resident on The Young and the Restless for the past 3 years. She is ambitious and wants nothing more than to succeed in the business world, and she will do almost anything to achieve her goals. Her latest deal with the great Victor Newman came back to bite her, costing her the wonderful relationship she had with Nate. But Audra doesn't let heartbreak get her down. She plunges ahead and doesn't dwell on past mistakes. She remains determined to find a good fit for herself in business, most likely with her bestie Sally, now that Abbott Communications doesn't look like it's going to get off the ground. There are so many F words that describe Audra. She is feisty, fiery, fierce, fearless, ferocious, and fascinating. She always gets our attention and sustains it, no matter who she's talking to or sparring with. Audra illuminates every scene she is in. Without her, Y&R would be downright boring. Let's face it, Phyllis is a character who drives many of us crazy. She can be reckless and shameless, and she rarely takes no for an answer. Her constant interference in Christine and Danny's relationship after he returned to GC was proof of that. She will stop at almost nothing to get what she wants, and what she wants is for everyone in town to know she's smart and talented. She wants to be acknowledged and refuses to be ignored. Phyllis is like a runaway train, and she's gone off the rails so many times, we've stopped counting. Her alliance with Kane proves she is willing to take huge risks. We know he is a threat to Newman, Jabot, Winters, and Chancellor, but Phyllis has put herself squarely in the middle of it all. Is she making a mistake? That remains to be seen, and we can't wait to find out. It's worth noting that Sally, Audra, and Phyllis are all women Victor dislikes. Many of us would agree that alone makes them badasses. If you've rubbed Victor Newman the wrong way, That means you are your own independent and free-thinking person who doesn't feel the need to play by the mustache's rules. Victor's trap, Nick and Sharon's family visit, and Claire's daring choice shake up Genoa City. For the September 29th episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers tease a dramatic mix of strategy, family focus, and bold choices. Victor Newman sets a calculated trap. Nick and Sharon look to their son, and Claire takes a daring step that could reshape her future in Genoa City. Victor has always thrived on staying one step ahead, and he sets a trap designed to snare Kane. What Victor is planning, and how Kane reacts, may change the balance of power in Genoa City. With his legendary ability to manipulate, Victor rarely acts without a larger endgame in mind, leaving Kane in a precarious position. Plus, what will it mean for Jack since he's decided to team up with Victor? While business battles rage on, Nick and Sharon make family their priority. Spoilers show the two preparing to visit their son Noah. The trip could bring some long-needed reconnection for the family, but nothing ever happens in a vacuum in this town. Their decision to check in on Noah could put them back into the path of unfolding Newman drama, especially given recent teases about an LA noir storyline unfolding with Noah in the middle. Meanwhile, Claire takes center stage with a bold move that could alter her relationships. Exactly what she chooses to do remains under wraps, but it's a step that could carry long-term consequences. Claire is caught between her relationship with Kyle and the thrill that Holden offers her. Why and I Are spoilers for Monday set the stage for ripple effects across Genoa City, with Victor's trap, Nick and Sharon's family focus, and Claire's pivotal decision sparking fallout that could last for weeks to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Kyle Abbott has a noticeable problem. Anyone in Genoa City, Wisconsin, or observers on the other side of the screen can see the difference in his face when he's with Claire Newman or Audra Charles. Claire is the sweetest of the sweet. She's the new woman in his life who represents a form of Summer Newman redux. Audra is her own entity. She's incomparable to any other woman Kyle has known. That could be a reason why she rubs him the wrong way so hard. Then again, maybe she's simply the destructive force he recognizes her as being. With Lanier's character written out of the script, Claire took center stage in Kyle's life. Many scenes included reaction shots of Summer recognizing that her return from the dead cousin caught Kyle's eye. Devoted fans likely wondered if a triangle would form, but the Summer character was eventually shelved instead of that part being taken. She's said to be working in Europe indefinitely. That also allowed Harrison to be written away, with occasional drop-ins likely ahead. Summer was the first great love of Kyle's life. Her role as Harrison's stepmother means they will remain tied together. While Claire didn't have Summer's actual blessing, there were no ties to her blocking what became a relationship with Claire. So, Claire is different than Summer. But she's part of a legacy family and is someone whose connections and backstory set her far apart from Audra. Eden Baldwin last appeared in 2013. She was Michael Baldwin's paternal sister through River Baldwin. That was Kyle's first relationship, long before Mealer embodied the role. Lola Rosalise became the second great love of Kyle's life during one of the periods when he and Summer were split. Kale's character was introduced as part of an entire family in GC. Sadly, they were all written away, with Lola leaving in 2021. Audra isn't like Tara Locke, whose purpose was to introduce Harrison Locke, now Harrison Abbott, and Ashland Locke into the show. Tara and Kyle had a brief connection while Mealer's character was off-screen in New York, and that event was later injected into the plot, which allowed Kyle to know he had a son. Kyle finds himself in an untenable position. He sincerely loves Claire. He's also disgusted and enraged by the influence Audra maintains in his life. There's no denying that he and Audra were physically attracted to each other and were involved in a transactional connection in the recent past. Kyle didn't want it to go further. Audra did, but buried her true intentions. As Kyle has come to see, Audra's repressed desire for him has proved destructive. She doesn't openly deny wanting him. He responds by saying that she'll always be alone. But will Kyle give in to Audra if he becomes forcibly single because Claire chooses Holden Novak in the near future? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest that a stranger danger alert might be needed if Mariah Copeland's victim seeks revenge by going after Tessa Porter. From her flashbacks, it appears that Mariah attempted to smother that stranger with a pillow during her business trip. It genuinely appeared as though Mariah might have eliminated that guy from the equation, but she later revealed to Tessa that she'd tried to kill a man. If Mariah is truthful and she merely tried instead of succeeding, then that stranger must still be alive. Of course, this could pave the way for this mysterious man to seek revenge against Tessa. Particularly now that she's on her way to the crime scene, Tessa aims to explore the hotel where Mariah was staying, though she fears she might be entering a dangerous situation. This probably suggests that Tessa is indeed heading into some trouble on this trip. Daniel Romalotti Jr. intends to accompany Tessa, offering his support in both her protection and her investigation. With Daniel currently unemployed and spending most of his time playing guitar, he doesn't have much else occupying his days. According to Y&R Spoilers, the complete truth about Mariah's terrible, drunken night is set to be revealed. This plot is leading to significant revelations that will undoubtedly shock Tessa and leave her reeling from Mariah's behavior. Nevertheless, Tessa's probing might lead to unforeseen repercussions if she inadvertently provokes some vengeful trouble. What if Tessa and Daniel's inquiry inadvertently places them on the radar of the mysterious stranger? He might deduce that Tessa is the partner of the woman who attempted to kill him. Such knowledge could make Tessa a target, whether he chooses to pursue her himself or perhaps enlists someone else to do his bidding. Depending on how this investigative tale unfolds, Tessa could become a victim of kidnapping or even face an assault. Mariah has been working hard to keep Tessa away from all the turmoil, so she would be distressed to learn that Tessa is facing a life-threatening situation. Of course, Daniel could take charge and become Tessa's hero in the forthcoming episodes. He could jump into action and save Tessa from danger, which might bring them even closer. Could he fill the mustache's shoes? Kane wants to attack everyone and everything in town, including their legacy companies. It was suggested that he could become the next Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless. Like Victor, Kane basically became a billionaire on his own, unlike Jack, who inherited the company from his father. Kane acquired numerous businesses and properties. He's thirsty for more wealth, as he has his eyes on numerous businesses in Genoa City. He obtained powerful AI software that could hack into their companies and provide him with all the intel he needed to become even more successful. However, Kane has backed off his plans because he wants to repair his broken family. He's trying to put his family first, much like Victor says he does. No one's business is safe, but Kane can't act alone, unlike Victor, who has no problem taking down his enemies solo. Kane assembled his own Avengers, which include the likes of Amanda, Phyllis, and Michael. Lauren finds out about her husband's plans to work with Kane. She's wary about his new job because Kane acts like a young Victor Newman. He wants to take down as many people as possible, and he doesn't care who he hurts. He also doesn't care whether it's legal or ethical. However, Michael doesn't think that Kane could ever fill Victor's shoes. Kane just proved him wrong. On Friday's episode, he didn't like Michael hounding him about his business decisions. He told him that he needed allies, not a life coach. Kane looked forward to sharing his successes with Michael, but he didn't like his constant questions. Kane told him that he no longer needed his services. It sure sounds like he's acting like little Victor in training. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Kyle Abbott is pushing Claire Newman too hard. Kyle is pushing Claire right into another man's arms, even though he doesn't mean to. Claire may feel that she has no other recourse but to break things off and hope they can find their way back to each other. Kyle has lied to Claire one too many times. Instead of making things better, Kyle is piling more pressure on Claire, instead of just stopping and allowing her to think things over and decide whether or not she can deal with this. After all, Kyle has lied to her several times. Just how much more will she have to take before she gill their relationship? Everyone has told Kyle to take a step back and allow Claire to process everything that has happened. Instead, Kyle is pushing Claire right into Holden Novak arms. Claire has already told her mother that Holden has caught her eye, and he has also offered to take Claire to LA with him. Will Claire break things off with Kyle? Claire, certainly has her eye on Holden Novak and may decide that she needs to see where this goes since she hasn't dated anyone but Kyle. Claire told Holden she wanted to go to Disneyland. Holden has agreed that it would be a good idea. Will Claire take off with Holden and check out Disneyland, leaving Kyle behind to figure out where he went wrong? Claire doesn't want to hurt Kyle, but she certainly doesn't believe she can get past what he did either. Claire is ready to move past her first relationship, and what else is out there waiting for her? Is Holden about to become Claire's ex now that she wants to be with Holden? How will Kyle's son handle their breakup? Kyle may act as though he wants nothing to do with Audra Charles. Unfortunately, Kyle's actions do not fit his words. Kyle is always passionate in his arguments with Audra, and she acts the same. Will Kyle and Audra end up back together in an actual relationship this time? Are both Claire and Kyle fooling themselves? Holden is falling head over heels for Claire from what we can see. Will Claire fall for Holden just as hard, even though this is only her second relationship? Can Holden give Claire the love and security that Kyle and his numerous lies cannot? The Young and the Restless has a new co-executive producer, who's actually not new at all. Sally McDonald has been with the soap since 1989, when she was hired as a production supervisor. 7 years later, she also joined the show's directing team, helping to steer Young and Restless to 8 Emmy victories in that category. McDonald will work alongside the daytime drama's current co-executive producer Josh Griffith, Soap Opera Digest said in breaking the news. He will continue in that capacity, as well as head writer. Word of McDonald's promotion comes at a key moment for The Young and the Restless. This fall, the show is undergoing a sea change, welcoming back a legacy character and introducing Emmy winners Tamara Braun and Roger Howarth in roles that are shrouded in mystery. That cast shakeup comes on the heels of Kane Ashby's recasting, with the younger, significantly less Australian Billy Flynn replacing Daniel Goddard. The erstwhile Aristotle Dumas has a master plan, he loves to say, but only time will tell whether it amounts to more than the show's last scheming tycoon Tucker McCalls did. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of September 29, 2025. It shows Lauren Fenmore Baldwin turning to Nikki Newman. Sally Spectra video calls Jill Abbott. Plus, Sharon Newman tries to dissuade Tessa Porter. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Lauren, who just learned about Michael Baldwin's secret. What Lauren doesn't know is that Kane Ashby just terminated Michael's employment. That means Victor Newman will have no more use for Michael. Moving forward, the preview clip for next week shows a crying Lauren turning to Nikki for help. The woman tells the blonde that she loves Michael very much. However, she doesn't know if she can take it anymore. Meanwhile, Michael has warned Kane that if he can't get him to do the right thing from the inside, then he will fight him from the outside. The lawyer seems to mean it too. I don't think retirement really suits Michael. The man gets too bored and needs a mission. While Michael could help take down Kane, will it cost him Lauren? In the park, Sally will have a video chat with Jill. The redhead makes a confession to Billy Abbott's mother. Sally admits that she has fallen in love with the impulsive and reckless man. While Sally can't help her heart, she could also wonder if Billy's words can be trusted. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 29th reveal that the preview clip also shows Tessa meeting with Sharon. The young woman explains what she knows about Mariah Copeland's situation. Tessa will tell Sharon about Mariah's confession and the secret meeting with Daniel Romalotti Jr. Tessa plans on investigating and finding out the truth about what is going on with Mariah. While that is dangerous, Tessa will have Daniel's help. While Sharon tries to get Tessa to take some more time, the young lady says it's all she thinks about. Tessa adds that this might be the only way to save her marriage, as well as Mariah. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of September 29th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, September 25th, hint at some major moments in Genoa City. Someone is asked to make a snap decision, while another has trickery on the brain, and a character has a tough call to make. What's on the horizon for Thursday's show? Time to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, September 25th, hint that Victor Newman will present Kane Ashby with an interesting offer. With that said, the offer that is on the table needs an immediate answer, and if Kane doesn't give one, it will be withdrawn. There's no one who plays mind games better than the mustache, so it looks like Victor is just trying to wear down the billionaire mogul and exert his authority. Kane has had his sights set on taking Genoa City over and collecting all the major conglomerates in the process. However, thanks to this ploy and others, Victor is proving who the real boss in GC is. Across town, Jack Abbott will have a trick up his sleeve. As he plans to make a pact with Victor during the Friday, September 26th show, is what he's doing during Thursday's show setting things up for Friday? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Lastly, The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Thursday, reveal that Billy Abbott will force Sally Spectra to make a tough choice. During the Wednesday, September 24th show, the two shared a very intense encounter as Sally got emotional, talking about how she walked away from everything, including her career at Marchetti, to follow Billy. He would end up blowing up their Abbott Communications dream to follow Kane's plan, a plan that went bust. There's also the concern that Billy is now turning away from revenge against Victor to target Kane. Billy did promise a light at the end of the tunnel and that he was refocused. But will Sally choose to return to his side or navigate toward a new direction? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Thursday's show? Comment below. Tune in to the CBS Soap Daily and check out SOS often for the best Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, September 26th, hint at some major moments in Genoa City. Two rivals form a truce, while another major player breaks an alliance, and someone gets some shocking news. What's on the horizon for Friday's show? Time to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, September 26th, suggest that hell might be freezing over, as Victor Newman considers a truce with Jack Abbott. These two have had an epic rivalry, one of the best not only in Y&R history, but daytime drama too. Still, they have a common enemy in Kane Ashby, so in order to protect their respective legacies, they'll need to team up. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman will get some shocking news. Is this about her husband and one of her closest friends forming an alliance? That would stun anyone, especially Nikki. With that said, there's always a chance that Nikki's news is something entirely different, so fans will need to tune in to find out. As one alliance is forming, another is coming to an end. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday reveal that Kane will drop an ally. So who could this be? Kane doesn't have many friends in Genoa City, and fewer allies. Will he drop Holden Novak? Or possibly Phyllis Summers? Red has been a bit of a nag and thorn in Kane's side. Then again, what if Kane drops Michael Baldwin? Could he be on to Michael's plan with Victor? Kane isn't a stupid man, so maybe he sensed something between Victor and Michael when they ran into each other at his train cab recently? Only time will tell. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Friday's show? Comment below. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out SOS often for the best Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news. Will Kane and Tracy's latest encounter reignite their romance? Kane had a recent reunion with Tracy on The Young and the Restless. The two had a friendly encounter, which has sparked speculation of them renewing their romance. Back in 2019, Kane formed a friendship with Tracy. She comforted him following his divorce from Lily, and he helped Tracy with her new novel. It didn't take long for feelings to start brewing, and before long, the two kissed. However, the train romance didn't go anywhere since Tracy decided they'd be better as friends. Now that Kane's returned and is played by Billy Flynn, fans wondered how the show would address Train's history. The two had a recent encounter at Society, and it seems that Kane and Tracy are still great friends. Tracy even mentioned their brief romance and how they kept in touch over the years. It's obvious they still care about each other, so could their recent reunion spark romantic feelings? Well, if Y&R fans have their way, the answer is no. On Reddit, most fans voiced their opposition to round 2 of Train. This will probably come across as mean, but with the casting of Billy Flynn, I really hope they don't try and do another romance storyline with the two, or even Tracy having a crush on him. declared one user. "I love Tracy, but I wasn't feeling it with the other Kane. Certainly not this one viewer replied. However, a few fans were willing to give the couple a chance. "If Victor can marry Sharon, Kane and Tracy's are not a problem," one commenter wrote. Fans may not have to worry about a trainee romance since Kane only wants to reunite with Lily. Meanwhile, Tracy's latest visit to Genoa City might be brief. Although Kane and Tracy didn't work out romantically, they still have their friendship. Nikki is stuck in the middle. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Friday, September 26th, tease that Victor might change his mind about Jack, while Kane changes his about somebody else. Victor is always right. If he ever changes his mind about anything, then he is right now. And he was right before, just in a different way. Remember when he totally supported Ashland marrying Victoria? Because Ashland was a good man, according to Victor. And then he was against Ashland and Victoria, because Ashland was a bad man, according to Victor. And anyone who disagreed with him, either time, was disloyal and also dumb? Well, now, Victor has been calling Jack the worst and calling for his destruction. Except he may be changing his mind shortly. It makes sense to call a truce with Jack. In that case, Victor is doing the right thing, and anyone who disagrees is disloyal and also dumb. Both times. Kane invited half of Genoa City to France in order to begin making alliances. Then he returned to Genoa City and proceeded to make even more alliances. He's offered deals to Billy, to Phyllis, and to Michael. Viewers already know Michael is really working for Victor, and that Billy turned Kane down, for now. As for Phyllis, Phyllis is only out for Phyllis, full stop. We figure Kane knows this too, which is why he's about to sever at least one relationship. Nikki is trying to stay married to Victor while being friendly with Jack. Nikki is a grown-up. Victor, on the other hand, taunts Jack like he's a spoiled child on a playground. Will Nikki keep straddling both sides, or will a plot twist force her to choose one or the other?